So tell a few words on the effects of the Russian aggression on Ukraine to Finland particularly, because some people say that the war is far away and it doesn't affect Finland anyhow, and only the EU sanctions are harming Finnish economy because there is not so much trade between Russia and Finland because of those sanctions. But first of all, empty air about the effect of sanctions on Finnish economy, because they are based on figures, economic volume of trade prior to 2000, where there was a big crash of ruble, where ruble fell from 40 rubles per euro to well over 7, but it's still over 60. Power of Russia and much lower. So actually, the real harm of sanctions, also the EU sanctions don't much harm Finnish economy. The only harm is done by the counter sanctions that are set by Russians and could be lifted any moment by themselves. And those sanctions were put in place in the first place because violation of international law and order wants to start a war with Russia. So you can't use invasion or something like that. You have to use sanctions. So when you put them in place, you keep them in place on the culprit has changed position and withdrawal from Donbass and Crimea, then it would be illogical to give up the sanctions to. But there are other effects also. The security policy is based on membership of European Union, United Nations, such international organization. Finland is a militarily non-aligned country. It is not member of NATO. It's not member of any alliances. And when kilometers, a little bit over 1,000 kilometers, Russia wages aggression against the country that is also outside defense alliances, Finns should be very worried, especially because in the security political limbo status, that there are no security guarantees of any kind from any direction. And that is very harmful. And Russian aggression in Ukraine means that Russia is sooner or later, from its own policy reasons, seeking out another victim and another victim. Actually, you can say that in 1994-96, fighting so hard, they probably saved at least Estonia and Latvia. Russia was focused on fighting there. They couldn't wage war anywhere else or conquer any other territories. And again, 1999-2003, it was again the Chechens keeping the Russians busy. Russians did attack Georgia on much broader aggression than they finally put in place. But the West was somewhat unified, especially the United States behind the scenes put pressure on Russia. Their attack short of Tbilisi. And then they took their breath, organized the Olympics, and right after the Olympics, when the Ukraine situation changed, they started again. It's all from Russia's own perspective. When they have a chance, or when there is an urge, when inner political situation in Russia is dire. Like now there is a new wave of demonstrations coming up. New discontent because of economical stagnation, because of lack of, and that again may have repercussions on Finland too. Russia already did try out Finland, and Finland nailed in 2015 the so-called Northern Finland refugee crisis, when Russia let asylum seekers freely cross the border on the 3 northernmost border crossings to Finland, and that led Finland actually to form a passport union between Finland, Russia, and Belarus. From any perspective, pretty strange, especially as Finland has had its own passport union since 1950s with other Nordic countries, and Finland has been member of Schengen since 1999. And then it suddenly bilateral agreement with Russia that certain border crossings between Finland and Russia can be crossed only by citizens of Finland, Russia, and Belarus. Finnish politicians celebrated that as victory. That was just trying ice with a stick as proverb. And this meant that when you put pressure on Finland, Finland bends. And you never know when Russia is going to do it next. Then there are other repercussions of Russian aggression on Ukraine indirectly, because Ukraine now enjoys the benefits of free trade, the European Union. Because of Russian aggression, Ukrainian gross domestic product is roughly 10% lower as it would be otherwise, and resources of Ukraine going much more to defense instead of trade. And because of the external threat, also in Ukraine, the reforms are going slower than they would otherwise. And that causes less purchase power, less trade with Ukraine. A good position to increase its trade with Ukraine would there be no war. So, production state. Western Ukraine is very good positioned if you want to export manufactured goods to Europe. You manufacture them in Western Ukraine, and then EU border is only dozens of kilometers away. In half a day, you have your goods in some EU transport hub like Lublin or Miskolc, or Debrecen is actually closer in Ukraine. So all this is without the impediments of the war. It's of course possible now, but people are not taking it so serious because they don't know what's going on and what's happening. And of course, there is also the increased aggression overall in Russian society in certain elements, and that reflects itself in crime as well. So that is roughly the main impact on Finland and Finnish economy of this Russian aggression.
Yes. Thank you very much. Спасибо огромное.